All right. Let's see here. Can we confirm if we are live? And I can't hear myself. All right, cool. So we're definitely live. Let's go ahead and let's share our stream across our social media platforms. Let's see here. What is this? Not sure what the why that. Let's post this. Let's grab our stream link. Let's copy this. All right. Let's copy that. And okay, I'm not sure if you guys can hear the television right next to me. Let me just double check that. You can't or it can. All right. Have that toned down a little bit. And we're going to pick up where we left off last night. I just want to share our link on Facebook as well. Now, what I'm trying to do is maybe post on both my socials, right? On my private and on Layer Forge. Let's see if we can drive more people to our stream. Let's see if we can toggle this. Let's post that. What is this? Let's also do the same on X. Let's try to maximize where we can tonight. See if we can work towards our goal of reaching 50 subs on YouTube. So we posted that on both of our X accounts, both of our Facebook accounts, and let's shamefully plug ourselves all over Discord. Thanks to Lightning here, coming in, always helping me out in the Discord. Appreciate you, man. Alright, let's publish that in our live stream channel. Alright, let's drop this in the quantum chat. Let's see if we can drop that in the stream. Okay. We got it in a couple places. Alright, so let's see here. What I want to do is I'm gonna append. Okay, we didn't exactly finish the teeth last night. That's correct. So let me just let's go back into our other file. Let me see if I can toggle my window capture and go to okay, our other file here. Hopefully that you can see that we were working on this last night. And yeah, I mean so far it's looking pretty decent. I don't think we need a whole lot more detail than this right now. I know that how do I say this? We're gonna have to do some. This is all great and all, and we're doing it the way we're supposed to, but we're also gonna have to. How do I say this? Intentionally or unintentionally dummy this down quite a bit. Um, Yeah, so we're gonna have to Alright, we'll take this, just these four corners, and we'll kind of come in like that, which is going to give us just to kind of get Alright, and let's apply a solidify modifier to there. Okay, and now we have something that we can work with. Let's try something like this here. Okay, it's not perfect. Uh, let's see if we can get this little chiclet tooth in the front, and we'll kind of work with that from here. Probably take this and bring that up a little bit higher. And okay. Let's take that right here. Alright. And we're gonna okay. Let's see here now. Okay, just making sure that the stream was working. Alright, so let's start with we have a little bit of an issue here. Alright. I totally did not notice that we messed up a little bit here. We have the wrong amount of lumps, if you will. Actually, you know what? It's not. I don't think it's wrong. I think that we just need to make some changes here. All right. Alright, let's see if we can... I think I need to add a little bit more geometry to get the effect that I'm looking for over here. And then let's try to bring this down to 6 pixels-ish. Probably need a little bit more than 6 pixels right now. Let's see if we can get away with just 5. 5 was, yeah, 5 was good. What we'll do is we're just kind of create these little spheres to start. And then we'll take our inflate tool. We'll just kind of inflate on them. Let's add a little bit more of this clay strip here around the tooth. Right now I feel like we don't have enough mass around the tooth to make it look believable. Okay. Alright. Once we get this little base level here, we'll take down some of the strength of this brush and we'll try to create some transition. So we'll bring this down to like maybe 15%. Maybe a little bit more. That just seems a little bit weak. Yeah, there you go. About 1/4% of the strength there, and we'll just kind of add material as needed to help this transition. Try to smooth this out a little bit here. Let's see if we can keep working on that. The same here. Um, these teeth low-key suck right now, so we'll have to. Yeah, shoot. Let's see here. We'll have to maybe try and. Yeah, we'll try that. We'll go across everything here, and we will shrink it all by 50%. It's more realistic. So I think we need a lot more mass on the sides. Let's try to accentuate this bone a little bit more. And then we'll try to be careful when we smooth this not to over smooth it. Okay. Let's see here. I feel like that smooth brush is, the strength is a little too high. Let's bring it down. So it's barely even functional. Let's bring back dynamic topology. Let's try to add some more geometry here so we can try and fix this part here for the one last time. Okay, let's increase the strength of this. And we're just gonna come in here. And it's definitely not exactly what I would have wanted, but oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. And then we're gonna do the same thing here, and this one was supposed to be more like I guess the same thing, but in the other direction. Yeah, it's not exactly what I wanted, but it's exactly what I got. I'm not sure how much more attention I want to give to this just because it's going to be so small. You know, like imagine you're looking at it like that. Like, does it really matter at this point? No, not at all. Now, here is going to be the really interesting thing. I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to hit save as, and then I'm going to hit, let's call this flattened version, because we're going to need a version that can be used we're gonna need a version that can be used like a decoration? I don't even know what you would call it. My brain hasn't been working real gooder these days. So this is like an embellishment or decoration or motif, a sculpture on a flat surface. So we kind of need to turn this into something flat. Not even sure exactly how I should go about doing this specifically. I mean, I was kind of thinking it should be following this. It should follow this. And this is going to be kind of tough. We might have to modify this quite heavily. But before we do that, I guess the best thing we can do to try and the best thing we can do is to let's see if we can get rid of the backside of the skull just to kind of remove geometry that we don't need anymore. And then we'll take like how would I describe this? Like so we'll take half of the head, right? Kind of getting rid of that whole backside, and we're gonna work towards making this flatter and flatter. My main concern here is how do the teeth remain part of all this? We sure don't need that. So the question is, how do we bring everything forward? What I'm gonna try here is let's create another cube and let's simulate this coming out of a surface and we'll work towards bringing everything back to the surface, right? So if this is our sculpture sticking out of this wall and we want to see, what do we want to see? So we need to flatten this somehow. Let's, and if we start to flatten it like this, that's not terrible. And then we can fill in everything behind it. If we take these, bring those over here, and how much further? Okay, so this is what we need to see. So my concern here is I'm thinking that the teeth need to be flat, right? But somehow the rest of this needs to come forward. So let's see, can we come even closer forward? And of course, we're gonna have to fix quite a lot. Alright, so, I mean, it's not ideal. let's remesh this and let's sculpt it until we can bring it forward. Proud of this surface. So let's see here. Let's go with that real quick. So now we remeshed everything. Um, let's try to see what we can do. Yeah, that's what I'm. Let's try to fix this sculpture here the best we can. And I knew this, I don't know why I wanted to create it in 3D, maybe for other assets, other applications where there is more depth perception with it. But with this, obviously we don't, but you know, I'll have other applications. And maybe I wanted to make sure that our original shape is, everything resembles or looks like our original shape. Alright, so we're having a little bit of an issue here with we need to apply scale and rotation. Okay, and now our brush should function a little bit better. There we go. Because we didn't apply our scale, it was distorted. Alright, let's go back to our brush tool. Let's see if we can toggle our dynamic topology. We probably can go back up to an 8 or so. I don't think we need to go that steep, especially for the level that we're at right now. And we'll just kind of work our way. Okay, and now we need to fake these teeth. And what I mean by that is we need extra support behind the teeth. Right, it's like a little cheat code here, where we're gonna have these little surfaces that we won't be able to see from the front, but they kind of support the teeth, making sure that when we print this, that there's something to hold these so that they don't kind of get formed super loose and floppy, and some of them fall out and fail. So we're gonna build a little bit of a structure behind them to hold them. And we'll blend them in, make it look like a big fat tooth, but you'll never be able to tell. But the idea is if we don't do this, you're printing these tiny little features, which even if you had a support touching them when you print them, when you pull the supports off, you might snap the whole tooth off because it's, in terms of scale, this is going to be a small little detail on our model. Right, this is just like a military emblem. And we'll work on that a little bit. Yeah, we'll get to that. Right now I want to pivot to what are we going to do about this whole area here. So what I'm going to do real quick, and hopefully this works, is I kind of want to see if I can Alright, let's see if we can turn off dynamic topology because that's creating some pixelation. That's almost coming through, and then we'll figure out how we're going to blend it in. But first I want to kind of bring this all up to this level up here. We can see here. Alright, so now let's try to see if we can smooth this out a little bit. We might have to add another shape in here to fill in the area behind this front raised part. I don't want to mess it up, so we might have to add something to fill that in with the interim of that. Alright, why do we have two surfaces here? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another shape real quick. We'll just create like a sphere. And we'll stick this over here. We'll flatten this. And we'll help kind of use that to fill in a gap over here. Okay. Let's actually. Alright, let's Kind of lower this a little bit. Think of it, we're kind of just like sticking a balloon in here, hoping to fill in this area. Okay. Try to put that in there. And now let's just add it to the other side as well so we can see that we've filled in those spots there. And then we'll keep working on this. The question now is should this should this have material that goes into it, or this needs to be the eye basically that I'm kind of adding material right here needs to be the deepest spot. Like it can't actually protrude into where it's going because it needs to be like an emblem that's stamped on to armor and weapons and stuff like that. Alright, so what do we got here? Alright, we should have the ability to bring some of this up. Let's see, we might have to create another balloon like we did up there and stick that in this area. We'll add another icosphere. Let's okay. Actually, that's funny if we kind of left that as an eye, but well, we'll see what happens the further we go along. We'll see. We got a little bit of a see that. And then what we'll do is I think is we'll apply some of these to kind of create one mesh, and we can kind of blend it out and figure out a solution here. And then we'll try to make it a little bit better as far as I guess artistic styling. Try to make that better. Where is my object? Okay. Click. Okay. Fail to set a value. Weird. Let's select this. Control Alt N. Flip outside. Okay. Alright. Take this. Take this. Take this. Okay. Now it's calculating. Let's apply. Let's hide this. Get rid of these. Add this back in. Hide this. And let's blend that in before we get a step further. Let's do a little bit of a better job here blending that in. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. Let's try to get rid of this. That. Okay. And let's go back into sculpt mode and let's check off our dynamic topology and let's try to bump this down to 6 pixels. And let's really get in here and try our best to blend this seam out, especially up top. We want a nice transition. And is this all necessary? Well, I think it is. I think it is. It's part of like the actual branding of what's gonna make this unique. So, all right. Okay. All right. Alright, let's hide this. Okay, let's apply this mirror modifier. Let's add another boolean. And we want a union with that. Alright. So now we have something we can work with. What I want to do here is let's actually take a good look at this, and I think we should remesh this to bring it all to the same resolution. Alright, this may be a little too much, but I actually kind of think this is reacting quite nice so far. So hopefully we'll just get in here and smooth a lot of things up and kind of bring back that sense of, I don't know, realism or style, or we gotta fix it somehow. Alright, so what I want to do is I kind of want to bring back this, and I want to make sure that the edges kind of look good. And I was thinking about trimming the back off to make it the correct thickness that everything is going to be. So if we trimmed it right now, everything you see in front of this is what we would get. And it's very thin here on the border. So what we're going to do is we're going to add more mass throughout the border. And hopefully that'll help us bring back the kind of shape that we had before. Just slowly kind of bring back the mass here. Make sure we got enough material. As you can see here, it's very inconsistent. And we'll work towards fixing that. let's see. Alright, I don't disagree with correcting this shape a little bit here. You know, this is obviously just like the 2D versus 3D versus, I don't freaking know. You just gotta make it look right. Let's see here. Okay. I think this is a little bit better. I don't know. We'll see here. I mean, we're kind of gonna have to fix everything all over again with the edges here, but I think that this does give it a, I don't know. Let's see here. Not sure if this is gonna help me a whole lot to kind of put in some, I'm gonna scribe some lines here based off the original design and see if that helps me create anything of meaningful value. Let's see here. Alright, let's see what we got here. We'll so we clearly got a little bit that we can modify here to bring this closer to a different shape. Okay, let's try to see if we can knock down this shape. I think we're gonna end the stream in a couple minutes here, but we'll pick back up at some point tomorrow. Alright. We'll kind of add some material here. We're slowly but surely getting somewhere. I think this is basically where we're gonna finish up tonight, and we'll keep working on this throughout the weekend. Hopefully this will be done, and we really need to speed up our process with getting the figure done, because I'd like to start printing that towards the middle of the week potentially. Right now we're actively printing poker chips, and I know I want at least something close to at least 150 to 200 poker chips. Maybe more, we'll see. And then we got dice that we want to print. I want to probably print more dice than poker chips so that maybe everybody can get 2 die and a poker chip. And then hopefully we'll also work on getting some figures done. I'm hoping that we can accelerate this process and start printing those, and we can, batch print as many as we can fit on the build plate as humanly possible. Hopefully we can print at least, oh, I don't know, 20 pieces at a time, at least. And then that means in 10 days we'll have, hopefully more than 100, 150 pieces. And we'll keep working at that. Yeah, we'll fix that nose up. Okay. We're getting there. We'll keep chipping away, adding more mass, adjusting it, trying to dial things in. Let's see here. What else do we have in the scene? Not sure if I should trim it yet, or if I should add a little bit more mass. Even if that means I gotta adjust the tooth a little bit, that's fine. And excuse me. Let's see what happens here if we can wait for this to calculate. Yeah, I think that's pretty good so far. That's a good start. Uh, let's apply that and let's bring back. It's thinking here. Let's apply that boolean select. All right. And that's kind of what we're working towards achieving here. We can make some modifications later, but we are slowly getting there. Yeah, not bad progress for today. Wish we got a little bit further, but that's almost always the case. So we'll go ahead and save that. We'll close that. And folks, that's all we got tonight. We streamed for, let's see here, about an hour and a half, slightly under an hour and a half, and it's not bad. We'll be back tomorrow at some point, and yeah, hope to see you guys then. Yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow our channels, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right, ciao.